Welcome to Catching Up with Claudia. Now, ojalá que se puedan quedar hasta el final para que puedan escuchar lo que va a compartir mi invitada o mi invitado. Así es que no se les olvide también de seguirnos por las redes sociales. Estamos en todas las plataformas. Hasta luego. I think I disappeared.
Comadre, your computer's off.
Let me
There you are.
There I am. You know what? Welcome to La Super Comadre Claudia show. You know, just the way I showed up turned off. I feel a little off today. Maybe it's because las elecciones are on. And as you know, with La Super Comadre, we started, years ago. After the person that's running right now, the guy, when he ran the first time and won, that's when we created La Super Comadre Claudia on RadioCrystalUSA.com. And here we are again. Ya me comí las uñas, ya me tomé pues un vinito, ya me voy a comer una galleta, no sé qué más puedo hacer para calmarme los nervios. You know what I did today too? Comadre, I cooked. I was stress cooking, and I don't cook. La Super Comadre doesn't really cook much, but she cooked today. I made some camarones. I made some salmon. I made some verduras, and I didn't eat anything of it. I just ate a while ago, but I was just like stress cooking, and then I got the Swiffer, and me puse a swifear toda la casa.
A sacar el estrés, comadre, sacarlo.
Sí, era stress cleaning and stress cooking. And you know what? And I prayed this morning. I got up, I prayed, and ¿y qué más hice? Tengo una sauna, una carpita, parece una carpita, ¿verdad? Como que va a ir al bosque, pero es una sauna, mini sauna móvil, y me metí allí también y dije, voy a hacer la sauna para, calmarme los nervios, and I did that, y luego me bañé, y luego me hice un huevo, me hice una avena, and I had my coffee, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just not going to watch. I'm not going to watch anything. And I didn't watch anything about the coverage on the elections until about 2 hours ago.
2 hours ago, 2 years ago.
And that's when I decided to pour myself a cup of liquid patience. If you can see my cup, right? I'm trying to have a lot of patience with this election. And I poured myself a cup of
you were just like that in 2016.
I was. Do you remember? Oh my gosh. And but it's okay. Mira, yo fui porrista cuando estaba en la prepa. Saqué también ahorita aquí para echar porras, ¿cómo se dicen los pom-poms en inglés, verdad? Porque yo sola me tengo que echar porras durante este momento. Y pues vamos a ver aquí. I just wanted to check in with you, comadre, with the listening audience, just checking in. How are you doing? How are you navigating this election? Maybe you're fine. Maybe you're like, hey, maybe you're not. How are you doing?
I guess I'm navigating the same way I navigate my life, by prayer. Just praying.
You know what?
Because there are some things that are not in our hands.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's what democracy is. You just put your vote there and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But it's just like a prayer. You put your prayer right there, yes, and you hope for the best, and you put everything in God's hands.
Absolutely. But also you got the vote in your hand.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, what I started thinking,
you hope everyone voted.
Absolutely. You hope everyone voted, and they voted with the best of intentions,
Exactly. I'm never going to tell anyone who to vote for. I would never do that, because I would never like anyone to tell me who to vote for. I have my own convictions, my own way of thinking, my own.
But what if the person that you're talking to is voting for someone that may cut off some supports, like
I
maybe
mean, what
Medicaid
I'm saying is
or
we have the same opportunity. We have the same opportunity of voting,
mhm.
and we and that's what democracy means. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. But
that's
don't
what
you
it
want to
means.
make
I mean, I
sure?
cannot make you think
Yeah.
different. I
But
can
don't you want to make
make
sure that
you.
when a
We can. You can.
person needs to vote with the correct information, so that when they know who they're voting for and what the potential is, like what is their platform, what are they planning on doing when they come into power, and how do you make sure that when you vote not on feelings but on facts. Like you receive the information, you know what that person is standing for, you know what they're voting for, you know that this person is going to come in and potentially take away certain rights or maybe monies that help programming that help support a school or maybe healthcare. You know, that's just the thing is like, yes, you are absolutely right. You have the right to vote and vote for who you feel is going to have you in their best interest. But
Yeah.
are really making sure that people are stopping and reading up on what the candidate is going to potentially do. And I guess that's where it is. You're right about vote, vote, but I think it is our responsibility as citizens to at least say, hey, you might want to look at this. It's not about feelings. It's about facts. It's about numbers. It's about data. It's about research. And I guess, and I guess, and a little bit of feelings too. I can say that I did both. I look at where we are here in Texas and how we've been under a certain leadership and how that leadership has affected even now here in Houston, Texas, the Houston Independent School District. If you connect the dots here in Houston, here in Harris County, which is one of the largest counties in the United States, um, we've been affected by the politics here and who is in office. So, for example, HISD, Houston ISD, where my kids go to school, where I graduated from.
Yeah, me too.
You went to Houston ISD.
Yeah,
So,
and I
so
worked for it too for
you work
years.
for it. So right now, the current superintendent was appointed by someone that is the TEA commissioner, Mike Morath. Mike Morath was appointed, not voted in, was appointed by Abbott, the current governor. The current governor has been the governor forever, and they are not proponents of public education. They want to make sure that there is school choice, that there are vouchers, that there's more charter schools. And you know what? I granted there are some great charter schools, right? But at the same time, the thinking is to dismantle a program. So that is something that we got to make sure that when we have certain people in office to follow those connections. So now we have a district that their elected board was removed. So like I voted for some board members and they were representing my students, my location, whether you have kids in the district or not, there's a person that goes and represents a certain section of Houston Independent School District and they get voted in. Once you have that group of people voted in, then they are the ones that interview and select the superintendent. Now all of that was taken out. So when the governor said, okay, Mike, you need Mike Morath, get involved. He's a TEA commissioner. TEA commissioner said, okay, we're going to get involved in Houston ISD because there was a couple of schools that were not doing well. I get it. You know what? I'm all about accountability. Did schools need to get fixed? Of course. All schools need some support, right? But the way it was done to the point where there is no longer, the people that were voted in, the board, the school board for Houston ISD, taken out. Then the Mike Morath sent down the new Mike Miles was appointed. Nobody voted him. There was no more board. And then a board was selected. Who selected the board? Who knows? But it's a board of managers. And that I was even asked, you should probably, look into board of managers, Claudia. And I'm like, mm-mm. Because I know what's going to happen. They need a board of managers that's going to say yes to everything that person wanted once done. So that's what I'm saying. We need to, yes, vote, but be informed. Vote, but be informed. And that's my message for tonight is to be informed. Like like, yeah, I would when honestly when se me cayó mi pom pom. Voy a
And
recogerlo.
that's the thing, comadre. I mean, as a teacher, like the way, I mean, as we are, I
Mhm.
mean, we teach our kids, we teach our children, we
Mhm.
teach, and we hope they they actually work with the tools we gave them, right?
Mhm.
We hope they understood the message.
Mhm.
But then they go out there and hear from other people, or they get
Misinformed.
misinformed by other people, or by
Mhm.
other, as simple as that, as by their friends.
Mhm.
Okay, and that's how it works. I mean,
Mhm.
oof, it goes misinformation.
Absolutely. And then you want that child to push back. Did we teach that child to push back and say, let me research that? Because that's what something that we got to make sure that that is also happening because we give the tools, right? But are we making sure, and in the toolbox that we give them, do we make sure that we promote why? What does that mean? Where did you get that info from? Versus just take it and run with it.
Yeah, but sometimes, I mean, our job is to teach them and to
Hmm.
hope they use those tools.
Yeah,
But I
absolutely.
mean, a percentage of it won't use it,
Hmm. And
won't
that
even
and that's
bother.
where it is, I believe, as a civic duty to make sure that information is accurate, is presented, it is vetted, and it's just not based on feelings. And that's it. And I think that's where, and for me, everyone knows who I voted for. It's no secret. Right? Now, do I love everything that she stands for? No. Do I agree with her 100%? No, I don't. There's some things that I don't agree with, but on the larger scale, I understand that this is the better candidate at the moment.
Yeah, when you put things in a balance, like
Hmm.
which one weighs more?
Yeah.
Which one? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So back to coping. Like right now, I'm looking at Facebook, and Lisbeth Ortiz, who's been one of my super comadres, and she's a woman behind the Frida Festival here in Houston, Texas. She actually posted, "What's your coping mechanism of choice tonight?" You said prayer. Mine's liquid patience.
prayer and and yours is patience. Yeah.
And Adriana, who is actually on her way to my house, I might bring her on too. Um, Adriana is also a super comadre who's been on with us. She's the one that shared a men awake
Oh yeah.
for the hot flashes, right? So she's gonna be coming on. I'm gonna just sit her next to me too and ask her. You know what she did? And I'll let her share. But
What did
she's
she do?
coming. She's coming actually from implementing her own mechanism for this evening.
Huh. So,
And
so
she
she's gonna
lives.
be here with you?
Yeah, you know what? She's. I said I'm gonna send her a message. I'm recording. I'm adding you the moment you get here.
Okay, okay, okay.
She's gonna be here in person, because she said I need to go. I need to do something, and so she left her house, and she lives near me. And I'm not gonna tell you what she did. That way she can tell y'all what she did for her coping mechanism.
Okay.
So and I said, pues pasa por aquí. I stress cooked a lot of food. So she goes, okay, I'm gonna stop by. And I said, stop by, have some food because yo cociné mucho y no,
You were like chopping, 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 chopping.
Ay, ya, mira, me cortaba un dedo tú. I chopped up that really good, sliced it, diced it, beat it, and threw it in the pan. No, y luego también con el Swiffer, se me acabó el Swiffer, ¿verdad? Tienen la botella de líquido. Me acabé el líquido. Lo que fui terminando con una botella de vinagre, porque yo aprendí hace mucho que el vinagre es muy bueno para limpiar y
Oh
también
yeah,
desinfecta.
yeah.
Entonces, con a little empty bottle, I put some vinegar in there and I was spraying everything. Ahí voy con el Swiffer. Pero el bote del Swiffer ya no tenía nada de líquido, pero ahí ando ya sacando ahí. And And another thing, music, música.
Oh yeah,
Para mí la
that's
música,
always the key in my life.
ujú,
No
la
music.
música.
Ugh,
Sí.
my life is weird with no music.
Absolutely. Yo duermo con la música, despierto con la música, y también me gusta I also like to put sounds like ocean
Oh
or
yeah.
spa music, like
And I'm always humming.
always humming, yeah. No, y luego sabes lo que encontré, what I found. And I know we're not getting get paid for this, I'm gonna say it. But I use Spotify and I just put on the ¿cómo se llama? The search. I just put um music for Kamala Harris, musicians that endorsed Kamala Harris, and I got a whole
Oh,
list. Man, I had it loud in my house while I was working. I was working during the day, right? So I was focused, working my brain builders, which by the way, brain builders is amazing and it's growing. But I was doing brain builders, tenía música a todo volumen. Los Tigres del. Is this the playlist of all the people of all the musicians that have endorsed her? Salió la canción, unas canciones de los Tigres del Norte, hasta lo de Maná, hasta lo de Don Omar, y luego The Dixie Chicks, y luego Stevie Nicks, y luego, o sea, era un popurrí. It was a great playlist. And it was just all of the celebrities are musicians that have been part of her rallies. So, that got me through all day. And I was like, no voy a ver nada en la televisión. I'm not going to watch it. Not going to watch it. And so I just focused my energies on just praying, getting in the sauna, listening to music. So I want to bring up right now, I shared with you a link and I want to
yeah.
see where we're at. How are we doing with the electoral college?
Right.
Otra cosa, ¿qué se puede hacer con este? Do we really need the electoral college? Do we really need it?
Well, I asked you, comadre, to run for
You
president, but
know
you
what?
didn't do it.
Okay. Well, let's start small. President, I don't know about president, but I can. My goal, one of my goals, is to run for office. But now I'm gonna wait until my girls are in college, and that way, yeah, because they still need a lot of me right now.
Comadre, our kids are gonna need us all their life.
True, true.
So if you're gonna wait for that, no, you better start now.
So I'll
Because
campaign
I
for
really,
you.
I
I'll let
really
you
want to
know.
vote
I'll
for
let you
you.
know. In the area, probably state rep or maybe senator. I don't. Maybe start local. Um, Probably not board. I thought about the board, the HISD board, but I was like, nah. Where I need it. I need it. Where can I? Here's what I'm looking at. What is the position that could have some say so in funding? Because if I want to fund programs, whether it's a school or programming for community or whatever, like which one of these, has a great weight when it comes to like, okay, we want to get funding for this, we want to get funding for that. And I know appropriations committee, that's one thing I remember. But anyways, comadre, let's look to see where are we on the electoral college. I
Let me
see
see.
so far we got 35
Harris
here
35,
and
Trump
95 for
95.
Trump. Okay.
Yep.
So the night is still young, and I'm only on my second glass, so we're still good.
Comadre, you're gonna fall asleep and you're gonna wake up tomorrow with the
My liquid
news.
patience was actually refilled, so I'm going to bring in someone else who's going to come and give us his. We're talking about coping mechanisms. Like right now,
Look at him
look, he's
right
cheering
there.
over here on the side. This is his coping mechanism.
No, I'm not thinking about anything. I just wanted to hear the sound of them.
So it's just like ASMR.
Oh, you've got the presidential results here on your screen.
Yes, and so does Comadre. She has them on live
Oh my God.
so that we can see, qué está pasando. And if you look over his shoulder, someone else is also watching and keeping guard. We have Princess Leia. She's like, may the force be with us. We got Frida behind him also. We also have Justice Sonia Sotomayor.
Hey, look, you got Kamala.
I do have Kamala right behind me, and this you can't really see it because of the light, but she's right behind me. But but yeah, so coping we were talking about coping mechanisms. I told her how I cooked all
Yeah,
day.
I've been hearing about this.
What about you?
The past couple days, basically, they say breathe,
Brief.
be with friends.
Okay.
Come on, like
Uh,
George Lopez. George Lopez.
Just brief.
Brief, brief.
I mean, brief,
Brief
but
with
know,
with
I
friends.
mean, liquid
Li-
coping mechanisms are also really common.
Yes. You already liquid.
Yeah, I already had a
Oh,
couple of drinks for sure.
Yeah, you seem a little
I'm a little,
liquid patient-y.
I'm super patient.
So yeah, so coping mechanisms, and I was sharing with her, like what did she do? Like she was praying, and then
Meditation.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so now I'm checking in, like Lisbeth Ortiz, who's also a super comadre. She posted the question. I'm like, I'm gonna use her question, and then I have another comadre about to stop by, Adriana. She is also a super comadre who's been on here and talked about men
A
away.
ver si llega.
No, she's on her way.
Oh,
She already said she's on her way, and I told her you're gonna come on, and we're gonna just bring her into the
It's
fold.
just ridiculous that it's so close.
I know, and
It's
woo,
awful.
it
Yeah.
is. So we're just gonna have liquid courage. We're gonna shake
It's
the
gonna be a long
pom-pom.
night. It's gonna be a long night.
Brief, comadre, brief.
Brief.
We may not know the answer tonight.
No, probably not. Pero mira, ya me quité las uñas. I had some nice little nails done, and I scratched them all off. And yeah. So you know what? And I also had to remember. I sent my girls a text today after they got dropped off at school, and I sent them a text. And in the text, I sent them. Wait, hold on. I sent them. Okay. There's a lot of stuff on here. Okay, let's see. Remember, I said, have a wonderful day at school. Remember, whatever the outcome, always have faith, in hope, action. Like, what can you do? And then to make sure that you're surrounded by like-minded people, who come together for the common good. So that's what I share with them, because they're older now, and se dan cuenta de cosas.
You know, I was with some business people today,
How did that go?
and they were like, Trump's good for business, and so it's just I'm listening to the points that he's making, and he's anti-immigrant. Really, he's very isolationist. He's very focused on tariffs. Which is going to be reflected on the people who are buying things, because that tariff is not going to be paid by China. That's going to be paid by us. And so the message is really getting diluted when it comes to the people who are actually hearing it. So. But we'll see. It's still early.
It is.
We're not going to know
early
until like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. at night.
At that.
Yeah,
At
where a general leaning is going.
Mm-hmm.
10-ish.
11,
Yeah.
12.
Oh, like
Compared to
we found out like 1 a.m. right?
Well, no, it wasn't until Saturday that we knew the final
when
for Biden.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it took forever.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Trump was claiming that
he had won before,
that he had won at like 2 a.m, that was because of the mail-in ballots were coming in, and because of COVID, and he made a big deal about that, and so that was he hasn't really been telegraphing a lot of that stuff yet, but that is definitely a factor.
Yes.
He's saying, they asked him straight up, are you gonna, if you lose or if Kamala wins, are you gonna concede? And he said, well, if it's a fair election, well, how do you put that into perspective?
Yeah. And it's been said time and time again, and there's the evidence that it was a fair election.
Super fair.
It was investigated, and it was fair. There was no shenanigans. And now it's, again, when he's always asked that question. And also with Vance.
I
his
can't
his
wait
running
to
mate.
see if Colin Allred beats Cruz.
I
though.
know,
I
I
mean,
know.
that would be
These
that
are some
would
races.
change Texas's.
All right, so Oklahoma just got called
No,
for Trump.
that's only 19% reporting.
Okay.
I think I heard Comadre coming in. Let me go
All
check.
right, so I'm gonna send
49,
Angel.
101.
What was that?
49, 101.
Oh, we got 49. Okay.
49, 101.
9 and 101. Okay, because over here I'm still showing 35. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, 49, 101. Yeah. So what I was saying is, I mean, regardless of who wins, I mean, it's our job to do what's right. I mean, it's always
Absolutely.
and I mean, because I know a lot of people don't pay their taxes, try
Mm-hmm.
to get away with things. I mean, if if the nation as it is, I mean, as we are, would follow rules like at school, like at school.
Mm-hmm.
If all kids would follow rules,
Mm-hmm.
be perfect, right?
Absolutely, and it's never going to be perfect.
Here,
But
I mean, in our nation, imagine everyone following rules and
Mhm.
listening to, I mean, and doing exactly what they were told. I mean, what they're supposed to do.
Mhm.
Imagine how wonderful it would be.
Yeah, it could be, but
It wouldn't be a
but when,
problem
but when you but let me
to
ask you this: but when you said about paying taxes, who are you referring to?
I mean, whomever,
Okay.
I mean,
Because you're right about rules.
yeah,
There.
because I mean, even and I'm gonna touch something very I know there are illegal immigrants here,
Mhm.
and legal i-
Mhm.
immigrants that don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even know they're supposed to because they
Mhm.
come from other countries and they don't look for or they don't ask anything, or in when it's time for them to fill out papers, they ask them, well, did you pay your taxes? Then they deny their permits and everything because they didn't pay.
Mhm. Because they didn't.
So that's one of the main rules here
And also a great number of them do pay their taxes.
and I
So
mean, and people who are born here too. I've
yeah.
known people that avoid, and I mean they wait
Mhm.
years and years and don't care about them. And I mean that's one of the main things about politics. I mean, if they don't have anything to work with, they're gonna. How do you, in español es destapan un hoyo para tapar otro. How do you call?
Mhm.
How do you
Yes,
say it
and
in English?
todo. And whatever it is, whether you are,
¿Me
the
entiendes?
whether you're the presidential candidate who had so many failed businesses, and he's been uplifted as the candidate who is a business person, but he's there because of his family's money. He's there because of a show that made him look like he was a successful businessman, and he wasn't. And there's evidence and there's a story behind the writers that created The Apprentice, who are now being interviewed and saying, we created this reality show to make money with this person who was a failed businessman, but they wrote a character in a show to make money, right? Because everybody wants, it was when reality shows were just coming on. And now they're like, wow, we didn't realize that people were going to believe in
Uh-huh.
that he was, a successful person. No, it was all the show. And now you have these folks that fell for it, that fell for a TV personality, a celebrity.
It's like if you would play a doctor on TV, then
And people believe you're a doctor.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
then
that,
and then he starts prescribing.
And then people, I had a conversation about business today with some businessmen about like how we need to run this country like a business. So then, like, when people say, "Oh, don't take it personally. It's just business." So where do morals come in? And where do we draw the line between when it's okay to be like an asshole?
Yeah.
and how like, yeah, hey, it's just business. It's just business. It doesn't make business sense for me to be friends with you and to help you. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. You know, and you know, back to coping, you know, I cope through research, I cope through looking up stuff, I cope through asking questions as well, and getting a chance to know, because I want to know. I want to know. Like now I'm at the point where I was having a conversation with my comadre Adriana, and we're like, why do we have an electoral college? Do we need that?
It's BS.
It was, why was it created? Because I remember hearing about the creation of it.
That's because the rich people wanted to
make
be
sure
in control, so that the uneducated poor people did not have as much say. Yeah,
exactly. So there's a lot of antiquated processes that we probably need to look at now. And I don't know how to change that. I don't know how to cause that. I don't know if that would ever be something on the table, but yeah, it's something to look into. It's the people that were in power were the ones that created. And it kind of goes back, ties in with whenever I would get told, you need to just go back to where you came from. And I'm like, well, you know, I come from people that were born here, you know. Yeah, I would play that game too.
I'm second generation.
And I would say, oh, well, I'm from Houston. No, you need to go back to where you came from. Houston, Texas, the Chiseno City, what? But I know what they meant. I know what they meant. And the thing is that we as a people of the Americas, not like Americas, like North America, South America, Central America, you know, that's that, you know, we were here, and I am a result of that mixture, of that mestizones. And mestizones, I mean, that's a word or not, but having that history.
Hey, we understand it.
We're all Spanglish, but making those connections and knowing where you're from and researching that, and that when someone says for you to go back where you came from, or we shouldn't have this, my thought in my head is like, okay, if you want to do that, you want to deport, you want to create these reverse deportations or whatever they want to do now, I'm like, well, how about we start with you? Because there were people that were here before you who were on this land, you know, and there's maps that show the indigenous people that were here. Where are they? So why don't we go way back? And that means that you're gonna have to deport yourself and go where you've come from. So I mean,
but
that's neither here nor there.
Those sort of like parameters start to get confusing because Italians were banned at one point. You know,
the Irish,
Polish, Germans,
everybody was
Irish. Yeah, like,
you know, we had the Chinese Exclusion Act.
That.
Where you know we've had some
even
policies,
Japanese
internment camps. Like, this is information that we need to make sure that's history, historical stuff, real stuff, not feelings.
But to make sure it doesn't repeat.
It doesn't repeat. And how do we make sure, you know, and when we hear someone during their campaign speech say that the first order of business is our mass deportations, you know, for me, I'm like, well, you know, I have primas that are lighter and light eyes, and then I'm going to stand next to them. Who are they going to ask first? Who belongs here, me or her? Not you or her, you know. And it's just, you know, getting into that mindset of you have to be careful of who you vote for, because you might be voting for something that's going to end up hurting you and putting you in a position that you never even thought that you're going to be asked for your, are you from here? You know,
but people are mostly voting based on feelings.
Yeah, it's facts. So it's feelings over fact.
Exactly. And that's really getting in the way.
It is. It is. Well, let's see where we're at right now.
71, I'm on my 101. 71, okay, 101.
All right. I'm on my second glass. I don't know if I should do the third.
So if we go and use our math,
you know, but in the end, you know, after
30 minutes,
I'm gonna go get another drink.
Gonna get a refill. You know, all we can do, like my, you know, my comadre Adriana, I'll share with you what she did, her coping mechanism. She called me, and I was in the middle actually of setting up with you right now. And she goes, and we talked a little bit. And I'm like, where you go? Where are you going? Ya está bien tarde. I got to go ground myself. So she was on her way to the park. And she said, I just need to go be outside, go get some wind, air. Well, no sunlight because there's no sun, but just be in nature. And that's what she did. And oh, she's actually here. Can someone get la comadre? She is coming in. We're gonna just fold her on in.
Woo!
La Miss Menawake is walking through the door. She just came from taking care of herself. So we're gonna bring her in. Just come on in. Come on in. Just my super comadre. She's been on before. And I'm gonna have a chair for you right here.
Oh my God.
It's okay. It's okay. Look, it's all right. You want a drink?
Yes. I don't drink, but
But
I need
tonight,
to tonight.
we will a little bit.
Claudia will tell everybody I do not drink.
No, she doesn't.
I don't drink.
But before we ask her question and for her to share, I just want to say that
Comadre,
What was that?
I'm gonna step out and I'll be back. Okay.
no problem, no problem.
Few minutes.
For those that are connected, I just want to share a little bit about my comadre. If you have not, heard or seen of her, and if you have been following, she's one of our sponsors with Men Awake. I put her little cremitas on and it helps me with my hot flashes. But she is, has done so much work last week, and I was there with her. But I just want to recap.
Yes.
I want to recap on all the amazing community work that we did last week. And it's going to tie in to election night as well. It's going to tie into what are we doing what are your coping mechanisms for this evening? But let's talk a little bit about last week. We celebrated the citywide Dia de los Muertos festival and parade. Now we got rained out, but you know what? We made it happen. But we made it happen.
We partied like
We
rockstars.
We sure
In the
did
rain.
in the rain, because in the end it was the
Cheers.
show. The show
Cheers.
must go on. Yes. Cheers. The show must go on. We started with a loteria, and that was on
Yes.
Friday. And we're board members.
No, it started. Remember?
it started with the
Tuesday.
with the
Yes.
reveal of the newest artist that was chosen
At the
for the
Mexican
artwork
consulate,
at the Mexican consulate. Thank you so much, Consulado Mexicano, for having us there. And we partied there and we celebrated kicking off the Dia de los Muertos Houston Festival and Parade. And then we had
And then
the press conference at the Heritage Society.
at the Heritage.
The Heritage
Tuesday. Did we have
Thursday,
something Wednesday?
Wednesday,
And then Friday.
and then Friday was the Dia,
The
the Dia, and that was organized. It's a couple of clinics where Ilse Garcia, one of my, also with Ilse's Glam Boutique, one of my super comadres, she works there and she does programming for her patients. And we brought in Loteria, and that was a lot of fun. And then we capped it off. Then we had the festival and parade,
Yes.
where we celebrated Dia de los Muertos
In the
at Sam
rain.
Houston Park in the rain. And then you made sure that we had the community breakfast.
The community breakfast. Yes. We had great sponsors, a good turnout. We had birria. We had raffles.
Dude, he had a TV that was probably bigger than you.
Yeah. And can you imagine? I had to put it in my car by myself and do all of that. The piñata, I couldn't even get into my car.
Oh my God. That was a huge piñata too. Had a lot
It
of
was
fun.
an unbreakable piñata.
I was noticing the texture as I was filling it in with candy. I'm like, I don't know if this is supposed to be broken or if it's supposed to be like an adorno.
Right? It was beautiful.
It was. But then it was like, whoa, this texture is pretty tough. I'm like, I'm going to need a machete. You don't need a...
That's what he did. He grabbed a knife and he cut it.
No, he did. Oh my God, I missed that.
You missed that?
But I was like, I don't know how these kids are going to bust up this piñata because you're going to need to stab that. Like, cut.
Grown folks couldn't get it. We had to cut it. We had to cut it.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
Now that we're live, I do want to say thanks to
Go for it.
Agility Bank.
Oh, yes.
They were they're just rock stars.
They
I
are.
love those guys. Agility Bank, Lizanne's Creations.
Bring another chair. Join us.
Join us.
Yeah, join us back here.
The
Bring a
more
high
the
chair.
merrier.
Yeah.
No, it's my show.
It's okay.
You guys have fun.
We want to have fun with you.
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Go
We
get
need a guy in here.
Yeah, we do. We need some male. We have women. We need men.
Yeah.
Let me get more alcohol.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Let's see. Tejas Protection Services, an ADT authorized dealer, gave us something. The Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola, Ruth Rivera Law Firm, private. She's a PI. What's that? Personal injury.
Yeah.
She's very young and talented
Yes.
young girl. Who else gave me some stuff?
We had a few things from the artist Angel Quesada, who's going to join us again.
Yeah. Oh, Angel Quesada, John Segovia, Menaway.
Yeah, Menaway.
Ways to balance your hormones.
Yes.
I got you.
Yes.
Who else?
You had a lot. You had a lot of sponsors. Well, the Birria Tacos was what
Oh,
tacos
La Calle.
La Calle Tacos. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic. And why, how this is going to connect. Because I was sharing with the audience, I was sharing that, despite the outcome of this race, which I have my pick, I know yours. It's up to you if you want to say, we still need to hold on to each other in community and continue doing the good work. Like I said, my kids this morning, a text, I said, no matter the outcome, just stick with like-minded people, have faith and have actions to get things done.
Absolutely.
That we're still going to move forward and things like this, like what we just celebrated, are the things that I'm going to continue holding on to. This, because we need that. We need to continue building community and reaching out and making those efforts and those bridges. And
Absolutely. Especially right after the energy that we were energized.
Yeah.
And, she only campaigned for like 3 months.
Only.
Think about that.
100 days?
100 and something days. And he has been campaigning for
10 years.
2 years.
Oh, I was like 10 years.
For 2 years. I mean, no matter the outcome, we're so proud of her.
Yes.
We're proud of all the new voters, the converted voters, the women voters, the men,
the Republicans that actually are like, I'm choosing country over politics.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah.
Country
absolutely.
over party. And that's what when I hear that gives me hope. That gives me hope that, okay, they're seeing something that's just not right.
Absolutely.
And they're choosing, someone that, okay, might not be my exact match. And that's not mine either. But I know that it's bigger than us.
Right.
It's about community. It's about connection. It's about what can I do with you moving forward for the common good.
Right. Right.
So what did you do to connect, to cope? Because that was the question.
Today.
How are you coping how are you cope? I can't even talk. I had too much coping right here in my cup.
So I'm going to tell you what happened to me. How I allowed this stress to build up in my body. I did not take care of myself. And what happened? I never get sick. Get sick. I literally, because I was so worried about this election, and obviously we all, I'm running 2 businesses and we had all the Dia de los Muertos stuff. And I was stretched thin and I did not take care of myself like I did.
Yeah.
So I fell ill. And for 2 days, I did not get out of my house. I was like so depressed over this race and all the garbage that is
literally garbage that was
literally
quoted.
Garbage that was quoted. And so today, so finally, I needed to go ground and reconnect, and all of that helps. And today it was like anxiety all over again. And I was just binge eating all day long. I ate a whole bar of dark chocolate and with pecans or with almonds, some kind of nut. I treated
you don't got nuts.
Yeah.
You don't got nuts.
All right. And so I did not want to get out of my house. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to stay here. But something told me, you know what? Go to the park, go reconnect. And I tell you what, I was so in my mind that when I started my first smile to when I ended my first smile, it was like in the blink of an eye.
Wow.
And I had to go hug a tree. I had to go hug a tree. And I came straight over here because we need to support each other today.
Yes.
This is a big deal. I don't think people understand the severity of this election. No, I really don't.
No, I don't think so. And I think that's one of the things I started off with is, yes, we all have that vote that we can cast, but to make sure that when you're casting your vote, that you're informed about what can happen down the road based on their platform. Like what we are experiencing now with, wherever you stand with Roe versus Wade and abortion, but there are some women that need abortion care as part of healthcare to survive a miscarriage and what have you. So now we have a court system, a U.S. Supreme Court system that was packed by by him. He packed the court with purposefully, because there were people that wanted that Roe versus Wade to be overturned. So we are now experiencing that. People were like, didn't see that, but you need to, that's why it's so important for students. Like, whereas she and I were educators, that we we help our students with these tools, but at the same time, when you get older, like, we got to make sure that they know how to research, look, and forecast. And for many years, what I believe, and I've had another conversation with another mom, earlier, is I think here, especially in Texas, we've been voting against our interests. We've been voting against what's good for us because we've been bamboozled. We've been told a certain message, and it's only like single issues that are being presented, and that's the only thing that we vote on. While we vote on this one issue, which they captured a lot of of even Latinos or what have you, and Catholics, to vote for maybe abortion rights, water the seed. But then there's these other things that get passed under without their knowledge. And so now we have, I believe, because in 94 we had the rise of standardized testing and the use of standardized testing to promote communities, to promote districts, to promote schools, to the point where all we ended, and I say we because I was part of that too, where all we did was play a numbers game to make sure that our schools were meeting certain standardized test scores to look good. But then at the demise of students learning, of students being able to use logic, reasoning, problem solving, asking questions, debating, researching, because now all we did was spend time teaching kids to take a test.
Exactly.
Is it A, B, C, or D?
Right.
And we taught them how to look for clues on finding the best answer on a piece of paper. Yes, life is not a flat piece of paper. Life is research. You and I. Life is talking. Life is saying, hey, if you were to come and tell me, Claudia, I saw this, Men Awake, I got this product. I'm like, okay, well, but tell me more. Where did you researched it? Where did you get your data?
Let me tell you.
Where did you, who was helping you? Like that's what's supposed to happen. I'm not going to just say, Comadre, I'm going to use your product because I like you. No. And I feel like I don't want to hurt your feelings. No, I want to know because I have the breast cancer gene and I want to make sure that whatever I use is okay for me and my body. And even then I'm like, had to talk to my doctor and say, I need to make the best decision. There's this cream, blah, 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 da, da, da. This is what it's made of. That's not happening anymore.
No.
Also, Comadre, they're getting ready to be tested while they don't even know how to manage their emotions, and they get so nervous and so stressed, and I mean they get so overwhelmed that they at the moment of the testing, they just answer whatever.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Absolutely. So we've lost the humanity. We've lost humanity.
And that's the same. That happens too with some people when voting. Like they get so overwhelmed, they go, you know what? I'm gonna vote for whichever. I mean, just or I'm not gonna vote.
I'm not gonna vote, or I'm gonna blindly follow.
Exactly.
I'm
just going to follow,
without questioning,
because I hate to say it, but I've seen so many videos, when they interview the Trump supporters, and I feel terrible.
I feel terrible too.
It's pure, a lot of ignorant. There was one in particular, obviously, I think it's like comedians. It's, Comedy Central that sends out these guys to do the interviewing. And they asked the guy, who was responsible? Who was responsible for 9/11? And the guy was like, absolutely Obama. Did you watch that
I
clip?
saw that.
That was so. It was funny, but yet,
But at the same time, it's sad.
alarming.
It's
to me.
alarming.
It was sad. I was like, oh my God, this is the supporters. This is the easily the blind sheep,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And so.
And the thing is that there's no excuse anymore, because you can easily pick up your phone with these smartphones. They call them smartphones for a reason. And you can Google anything. You can, and if it's okay if someone were to say, oh, you know what? Well, yeah, well, Obama's fault, but let me check. Let me look it up. But there's none of that. There's none of that research. It's like, no, because someone that they follow told me that person was not at the helm when and it happened on their watch. I'm going to believe that person, versus stopping to say, you know what? Let me go look it up.
Let me go check.
Let me do some research.
Exactly.
Let me see what's going on, versus, and that's just where I am afraid.
Exactly.
I am afraid of. This is why I'm hopeful, anxiously hopeful for tonight, because we need to find a way to get rid of this other, I think was probably a third party.
Oh, absolutely. Because think about this, right? We understand this. Our reproductive rights was not about just abortion.
Mm-mm.
It was about
healthcare.
It was
Women's
about
healthcare.
No one being able to make a decision about our body.
Oh, yeah.
That's the bigger picture.
That's the bigger picture.
Abortion is just one of the things, one of the underlying things that happens that should be left up to the woman, because nobody wakes up and says, hey, it's a good day to have an abortion. No, nobody does that.
Nobody wakes up wanting to do that.
Reproductive rights. This big deal with Kamala had to do with the government cannot tell me what to do with my body. Can we tell men, hey, you can't take Viagra, all of that stuff. All of that is legal because it has been ran by men. When are we going to get it? Like,
absolutely.
As women, when are we going to really put a dent where it hurts?
Absolutely.
And I hope and pray that tonight we show them that our voice is loud and it is strengthening by the second.
And it has to do with education. And it has to do with sharing the stories. It has to do with, it's not about, anything else. That decision is a very personal decision. It shouldn't be made by the government telling you what to do with your body.
Exactly.
We've already lost so many women here in Texas due to women that have gone into sepsis, that were not able to be touched by a doctor and be given the necessary procedure, which involves an abortion, because they had to wait until the fetus
or a DNC.
Or a DNC.
A DNC. Let's not call it an abortion at that age, because it's an unwanted. It's not. It's a procedure that's unwanted.
And these were women that wanted the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've had women that either lost their lives or lost the ability to have kids.
Right.
Because the doctor's hands were tied. Their hands should not be tied. Their hands should be. They were given a God-given talent to be doctors. It's not easy, and then to be given, information as the patient. And then you have to make that decision to make sure that you're okay. And for someone else now to tell you, no, that doctor can't do anything until there's no heartbeat. Whose heartbeat are we talking about now?
Exactly.
So we're now at 7:59 and we're wrapping it up now, and I just wanted to take some time to check in with how are you coping? How are you handling or navigating this evening? Yes. And like Angel said earlier when he joined, he shared, friends, breathing, and liquids. And you know what? I'm glad that you called me earlier as I was setting up. I didn't even tell you what I was doing, but I was setting up for this.
You didn't.
And then Angel showed up, and then I said, "Well, hey, what?"
Having some tea.
Yes, have your liquids. Hydrate.
I'm serious. I ask Claudia. I do not drink. I do not drink, but I'm so filled with.
Anxiety.
It's it's emotion. When I went to go vote, it was emotional for me. Too. I have to stop.
No, I had a lump in my throat.
Did you know my eyes got watery? My eyes got watery. So good luck tonight, ladies.
Yes.
I hope.
I went early voting. I was there on the first day of early
And we
voting.
need to get rid of. We got to figure out how to get
This
rid
one.
of
Electoral college.
Yes,
We need to start a wave.
because you know what? It's freaking Pennsylvania. Those swing states. No, we don't need to be waiting on those states.
Mm-mm.
It's not a fair process.
Mm-mm.
We need to do popular vote like every country on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones that are stuck to this antiquated system that has it's like purposely inflicted on us.
Well, and then like Angel said, the history.
So it has a conflict with democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It does.
So we have to figure out, the
Yeah.
next movement, ladies, whether Kamala wins or not, is we have to start a movement because this is ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Ridiculous.
It doesn't reflect who we are now.
So I mean, what can we do? What can we?
What can we do? I don't know. We're gonna research.
what can we
research that.
That's a good question. If anyone has the answer, please tell us.
Signatures.
How do we do this?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Where do we start?
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna figure it out. Can you share about March? Not yet.
No, I'm gonna share.
Okay, so we're gonna close it out because this could be maybe the kickoff to something that she's gonna close out with.
I'm super excited to let everyone know that we are going to relaunch the International Women's Festival here in Houston. Yes, at Discovery Green, March 8th, 2025.
Woo.
So I'm so excited. I mean, irregardless as to how this is going to turn out, we need to celebrate.
We're still going to turn out.
We're going to turn out. We're going to celebrate. We're going to get some good sponsors. We're going to have fun. We're going to get
ground ourselves.
Oh, it is going to be phenomenal. We're going to have music, international food. We're going to invite all the
women leaderships.
Count us in.
Oh, yeah. I'll have y'all. Y'all can do your little podcast and have. It's going to be so cool.
Yes.
We have not had anything like it here in Houston.
Yeah.
And
we need it.
If anybody wants sponsorship information, please email me at iwomensfest@gmail.com.
iWomen's I'm excited. And then hopefully by then we'll have some kind of something moving as to what can we do about this electoral college.
Oh, we definitely have to start a movement because this is
maybe that's what we'll kick it off.
Yeah.
Look, Comadre, look.
Okay, where are we now? Can you put on the
hold on. I thought I had it here. Hold on.
Almost. There. Oh, it disappeared. I thought I saw.
Can I send you
there it is.
Where is it?
99,120.
Okay. We're moving along.
We're moving
along.
It's gonna be a long night, ladies.
It's gonna be a long night, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So the tortoise and the hare. I don't mind being like Lupe my tortoise.
Claudia, can I send you real quick, just so since we're here and we can really end this on a positive note.
Yes.
And it's a beautiful
quote. You got a quote?
Not a beautiful
a
quote.
Picture?
I have a picture and I want hold on one second.
All right. We're gonna close it out.
To Claudia, then she's gonna send
it to me and then I'll forward it to her.
I can post it.
Oh, this is gonna be beautiful as we close out. And you send it to me how? Text. Okay.
Send it to me via WhatsApp.
Okay. Copy. And here it goes. Okay, so as we close this evening, I want you just to focus on this image. If you're listening to us, I want for Adriana to describe the image for those that are only listening and do not have the ability to see this. But what you're about to see has to do with the Women's International Festival.
Yes. So look at that. Isn't she beautiful?
I love it.
This is a woman that represents every single woman from every country around the globe. And she's beautiful and she's a queen.
I love her crown.
And yes, I know. She's got it all. She's sexy. She's smart. She's amazing.
Yes.
And she's the boss.
And she is.
And we're going to celebrate her. And she's very smart too. So don't mess with her.
So you heard it here. Don't forget to connect with Adriana. She's going to have a lot more information for us. And as we move towards March, Celebrate, because March is El Mes de la Mujer, and
That's
we're going to
right.
be kicking off
March
this festival.
8th. March 8th.
March 8th with this festival, and just keep connecting back. I record every other Tuesday here, catching up with La Super Comadre Claudia of RadioCrystalUSA.com. Today, it was all about Las Elecciones 2024. How are you doing? So take care of yourself. Take care of each other, because like Angel said, we need to be with friends. We need to be with family. We need to still have community, and continue moving forward and laying out what needs to be laid out to make sure that we have the things that need to be met. Life, food, work, festivals, self-care, all of that. We still need to stay in community no matter what. Absolutely. All right. So adios. Hasta la próxima.
Adios, amigas, amigos. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, we cannot go without showing this.
One last show. We got 99 for Harris, 120 for Donald Trump. We're moving slow.
Yeah, this show stays here on every platform forever. And remember, Comadre, you covered the 2016 one.
I did. I covered 2016, and here we are again. And I am just hopeful. Been meditating and praying and drinking. But woo! Yay! Here you go. Hasta la otra.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Gracias por haber estado aquí en el show Catching Up with Claudia. ¿Tan? ¿Ya terminamos? Okay, bye.